What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crowned by Kenzie. Happy Sunday, everybody! Woo, 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 woo. Always, almost the beginning of a new work week, at least for some of us. All right, so I'm sure you guys watched the Love and Marriage Huntsville season 9 reunion last night, part 1. And when I tell you they came out the gate, baby, they came out the gate. But before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell so that way you know when we go live or I post another video. And also make sure to share this video with your friends and family and invite them on in to the Royal Palace to be one of the crown kings and queens. All right, so before we get into any of the shenanigans from last night's episode, I want you guys to get into this video. And I'll be right back.
How you doing?
All right, guys. So as you can see, we are on the set of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, beautiful set. And let me tell y'all something. The people, they looked good. The people came. They looked very, very, very good. I loved everybody's costume. It looked amazing. I love the colors, everything. It was amazing. Okay. So they start the reunion off. Everybody arriving in their black SUVs. It's taking place in Los Angeles. Um, and we find out that it's Marcel's birthday. Of course, you guys know within a reunion, most of the time they go backstage and it's their wardrobe room and just get a feel for how everybody's feeling about what's to come in the reunion and so on and so forth. And one thing that stood out to me, because we don't have to get into all the rest of it, but one thing stood out to me is Kimmy says she is ready for everybody. And then they put the little gunshots, pow pow. I love that. Now, I didn't know Kimmy had smoked with everybody, but according to her, everybody had something to say off camera versus what they said in her face. So she's coming out, guns are blazing. All right, so everybody make their way on out to the stage. And again, like I said, they all look good. And so they first start off, Carlos, they give a timeline, pretty much a flashback of over the years with Love and Marriage Huntsville when they first started. They show Melody and Martell when they were married, and when they walked into the room and they were this Alabama Huntsville power couple in real estate and commercial building, so on and so forth. And then the background with them and the Scots 2.0, and just I would say it was nostalgic to see everybody getting along and everybody happy and just the beginning. Those were the fun times, right? And so they eventually get into once they do the flashback, they come back and Carlos asks Martell, does that make him sad and how does he feel about it? And he said it's difficult or he asked him, was it difficult for him to watch? And he said that it was difficult for him to see and everything that they built, the kids, so on and so forth. So he was being transparent there. I appreciate that. Um a part of me, and I have to be honest here, a part of me kind of wanted him to, I don't know, I just wanted him to apologize and sincerely for everything that has been done over the years, the cheating, oh, just so much. Everything he said about me. I don't know. I guess hopeless romantic in me. I wanted him to just apologize to her, even get a little tearful and just tell her he's sorry and can they just make it right and so on and so forth because I really like them together. I mean, they were just an amazing pair. Business wise, they seemed to be an amazing pair. Mel was the brains, he was the hands behind everything. And I like that because I like for a relationship to work that way. You have one person that, and not to say the other person is less than smarter than one, but I'm just saying one person that is the brains behind things and one person that's the hands. Like in my own relationship, you have the brains and you have the hands. And I mean the hands in both ways. Y'all know what I mean. I'm the brains, and my husband is the hands. Okay. All right. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just had a moment where I just kind of wanted him to apologize, but I guess that's never going to happen. Mel said that she was not sad about it. And instead of her focusing on the things that could have made her sad, she chose to focus on the victory, which was her reclaiming herself, reclaiming her name. Instead of, you guys remember this season or last season, Melody went back to Melody Cherie Rogers instead of and dropped the last name Holt, her married last name. So she said she chose to focus on the victory. Hey, I ain't mad at that. I guess something so traumatic as everything that they went through in this divorce and also the marriage. I guess it, hey, I guess it would be a victory to get out of that, So I ain't mad at her. And she did say that she had no comments for Martell. She does not even want to entertain him. And again, I don't blame her. It's been too much done. But again, I really would have hoped that he apologized. At least did that. Even if she didn't accept it, at least put yourself back in a good spotlight. Because to me, he ruined himself with that one. And so they asked him a question about, how he feels about the Scots, and he said that he pretty much wishes them the best. And Carlos said, were you rooting for their relationship? Because it was said that Martell was jealous of them, with everything that they built and, their relationship, how they stood the test of time, stayed together, so on and so forth. And Carlos messed up and said, oh, it's a video lagging a little bit, but we're gonna keep on going. I've stopped too many times. Um, and so they were talking about I got thrown off there, y'all. And so he said that correction, I'm not rooting for them. Okay. I'm not rooting for their marriage, but I'm not wishing it fails either. So that's fair. Y'all think so? That's fair. And so then they get into this whole back and forth when Letitia reveals that she knows that it was not anyone else, because I think Martell tried to say that they were pretty much like snakes. I can't remember his words, but it was a lot of snake-ish going on, and they were going behind his back, putting out stories about him. And Letitia reveals that she knows that it was Martell that has been over the years putting out stories about them, going to different bloggers, going behind the scenes and telling Mel different things about them that maybe caused friction with them in the past. And also they alluded to him possibly telling his girlfriend, Coleslaw. I can't remember her name, but we just don't call it Coleslaw because that's what the people in the street say. Shout out to Funky Dineva for that one. um, which is my favorite. Y'all know I love me some Funky Dineva. I really, really do. But anywho, hopefully I'll meet him very soon coming up, and I can't wait. I got lots of questions. But anywho, so Letitia reveals that it's been Martell the whole time, and he tries to deny it, of course. But hey, if they know, they know that it's been him. And how unfortunate to be doing things like this, snaking your friends behind their backs. But it seems to be his character. Y'all think so? Because I mean, you did to your ex-wife, hey, who are they? And that's the mother of your kids. So who are they? And so that's when Marceau says, as he said in the season, that he does not respect Martell. He lost respect for Martell because of that video. And Marceau reveals that he went around the world and trying to get everybody else to put that video out of to insinuate that and if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a revenge, P video that was put out. Martell allegedly was going around saying that it was Melody, giving fellatio to another man when it was in fact a video that they made. And Melody did cop to that. It was a video that they made while they were in New York some time ago. And pretty much he was trying to put it out. Now you guys know that he was arrested behind that video, and I think it was harassing communications. Mel had him arrested, if you guys remember. Regarding that video, because he was allegedly trying to get his girlfriend, and him and his girlfriend came up with this ploy to get her friend to put it out. But the friend in turn turned on them and sent it to Mel or told Mel something like that. But it was never released. Thank God for that, because that girl didn't deserve that. And nobody deserves anything like that to happen to them. And Mel reveals that it was not the first time that he did it. She said that he sent her screenshots over the past, and she has the text messages. And Martell has sent the video to her in the past, threatening her. And so they reveal the text. They do a screenshot of the text or whatnot and put it up on the screen. And it's something along the lines of Martell telling Mel that you better stop your friends and whoever else from coming at me, because the same way they coming at me, I'm gonna come at you. You know, pretty much, just to sum it up. That I'm gonna come at you the same way. And I guess that's when he allegedly sent a screenshot of the video, the Revenge P video. And so again, Marceau says that it's not that when he got word of it, he went to Mel, which was the right thing to do. And we'll get into something along those lines, as we have when it came to Mel and Maurice situation. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, so but Martell, throughout this whole thing, guys, he was just refusing to take any kind of accountability. And Carlos asked him very direct questions. And at first he tried to put it off and say, ask Mel. But no, he's asking you, and this is your chance to shine. You keep missing the mark. He's asking you to tell your side of the story, tell your truth from your perspective. But he still refuses to do so. I just don't get it. He just cannot take any accountability. But I want you guys to watch this video, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for this. Shout out to Carlos King. This video is courtesy of what is it called? The Love in Huntsville, I guess it's a fan page on Instagram. You guys can go over and watch the different clips. Make sure you watch the reunion on Network. And again, shout out to Carlos King. But y'all, hold on. And I do not own this video or any copyrights to it. So hopefully I won't get in trouble. Okay. All right, guys. Listen up. Oh, you guys hear it? Oh, hold on. You know what? Let me stop right there. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something happened. Let me stop right there. Y'all hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna get it queued up for you. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hold on, y'all. All right. Here we go. Okay. Boom. All right, y'all. All right. Thank you for being patient. Hold on. That ain't the one. Okay. There we go.
Obviously, you're the voice of reason,
and
do realize what you did was bad.
I'm sorry, that's not bad. That's not bad. So what did I do?
You sent a screenshot of an intimate moment between you and your wife at the time
To her.
You mean to tell me you could look me in my eye and tell me that's not a bad thing to do?
All the stuff that Melanie and I were going through, everything that she was doing, God damn it, all the stuff she's doing to this point.
I know, but Martell,
I don't want to hear none of that.
Martell, look at me. At the end of the day, it doesn't excuse the fact that an intimate moment that took place between the two of you.
I sent her a picture of us. I sent her a picture of us. Yes.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? It's her.
The guy took a video of his wife and he sent it out there, and then he tried to get other people to send it out there and fake like she was giving it to somebody else.
That's what she said to you.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't say that to us. She didn't say that to us.
We heard it years
The
ago.
people that he asked would send it to us, and we said,
where's that
"Girl,
then,
stay
bro?
out of
Hey,
it."
hey,
The
you're
thing is
lying.
this.
Show it.
I never, Martell.
God dang.
The thing is this.
So I don't want you to paint this picture of like again.
He did.
I sent it to her.
Martell, I painted a
I sent it
picture
to her.
that you crafted. You have the paintbrush and a blank canvas.
I sent it to her.
No, I know, but
Okay.
no.
And I told her to leave me alone. Period.
I literally repeated everything you said to me because I know how this works. I didn't add anything to it. I
Okay.
didn't add no another ass track. I didn't add no Lori season salt that the Fletchers have. I sat up here and repeated every single thing you said back to me. You admitted to me, yes, I sent a screenshot of the intimate moment between me and my ex-wife.
Yes.
And I'm saying to you, it is abhorrently bad and hurtful to know that a woman can have an intimate moment with her then husband without it being sent back to her with messages that weren't the nursery rhyme. You see what I'm saying to you? That's not okay. So where are things now in terms of what's going on with the court? Because at the end of the day, you did get arrested.
And so, guys, this part right here, this was the craziest thing ever because it's like, you guys see that he refuses to take any accountability. You did it. You got arrested behind it. You did it, allegedly. Allegedly, okay? Everything in this video is alleged. But take accountability. But I want you guys to watch this part now. This is very, very telling because, yeah, hold on.
Is it true you were found guilty?
No.
This guy kills me.
So I don't know what you call it.
The opposite of guilty is
What the you right there with me. You know what it is.
Melody. Was Martell found guilty?
He pled guilty, yes.
He pled guilty.
Why though? It wasn't even. It's not guilty.
Why couldn't you just tell me you pled guilty?
It's not that.
Did you plead guilty?
No.
You just said
No, because
Okay,
she's not explaining the way
So
what
he
it really
pled
is.
guilty.
Go ahead.
And then he appealed. So we have an appeal date coming up. But yes, he pled guilty.
Melody, you are so horrible.
Do me a
Melody, you
favor,
are
don't
so-
talk to me. Like
Melody,
I said, he pled guilty.
Melody Rogers,
pled
you are so
guilty.
pathetic for that.
And now he's
And you don't
appealing
want to
it
explain.
back.
If you understand it, why you're not explaining everything?
Because I asked you to
No,
explain
bro.
it. You said you can't explain it.
No,
and
she
your
can't
lawyer
either.
can't. You just asked me to
She
ask
can't
him to
either.
explain it.
Fellas, who
She
you gonna
can't
believe,
either.
Martell or Martell?
Oh.
Because Martell saying one thing, but then Martell saying something else.
All right, guys. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and stop it right there. Like, y'all see the foolishness. Y'all see it. It was just straight foolishness. Just admit it and get it over with. He just could not take any kind of accountability and then sat up there and told a bold-faced lie. You pled guilty to it. You don't just plead guilty to things you did not do. You pled guilty to it. And obviously there was some evidence, i.e. text messages that you sent to her. So hello. Come on now. Come. Martell, you keep shuffling. You keep shuffling. You keep shoveling a ditch for yourself. Like, this is just foolishness at this point. Foolishness. A grown-ass man. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Tell the damn truth. But then it later comes out that he is appealing it. According to Mel, he appealed it. So I guess he had a change of heart, obviously, because he's not admitting to it now. And he probably scared it's gonna hurt his case. So yeah, so that's just foolishness, all foolishness. So anyway, now we're moving on. We move on to the Maurice flashback of the DUI and alleged DUI and so on and so forth. And pretty much the Scotts refused to answer. They went round and round, round and round, round and round. And they should have just said, listen, we're in the middle of an ongoing court case because this was taped in October. So we're in the middle of an ongoing court case and we'll let it all play out. We cannot speak of it because it is a legal case that's ongoing. So I don't want to incriminate myself. So I'm just going to be quiet and shut it down. You see what I'm saying? He could have just done that, but they just went round and round and round. It took so much time, and we ain't about to go round and round with it. And so anyway, he said wait until next year and you'll find out more 2025, and we have found out more. And so pretty much they get into it, and Carlos started asking Kimmy questions about where was she at when Maurice was arrested and so on and so forth. She said that she stopped for a Slurpee or something, and this and that and the other. He asked her, being shady, Carlos, I love it. He asked her was she at Credit One for the after hour, because y'all know they said allegedly that things go on at Maurice's Credit One building after hours. Now, we don't know that to be true, but that's what they were saying around the Huntsville streets, according to them. And so it was kind of, to me, it felt like it was something else behind the scenes, maybe alluding to that Kimmy was cheating or had been cheating or is cheating. I don't know. But did you guys get that feeling? I don't know. And so Kimmy said she made a pit stop, and then Maurice came with pow pow. I was there when she made the pit stop. And then Carlos came back with, wait a minute, you ain't about to try to shine on me real quick. Uh, Between the hours of 4 a.m. and the time you got arrested, why were you not at home with your wife in the bed asleep? Where were you? And he said, I was traveling. His words, not mine. He was traveling. Where were you traveling to? You ask. He said he was traveling home. Now, you guys know that they were all together that night, because that's the night that, and I remember this, that's the night that Funky Dineva, shout out to him, he threw an event, shout out to Tisha, at the Scotts, Marceau, and Letitia's business. What is it called? Black, their restaurant and bar, Black, over in Huntsville. And I guess there was a lot going on, but anyway, they were all there together. But somewhere in between the time they left that event and somewhere in between that time, Maurice was arrested for an alleged DUI. Okay. But, and you all seen the mugshot. Um, but yes, somewhere in between that time, leaving that restaurant at 4 a.m. or whatever time it was that he got arrested, he was arrested for DUI. I don't know. I guess we have to wait for more details. And so he said again he was traveling home. Mel, then that's when they get into Mel. And Maurice, he had his bone to pick with Mel. And Mel said that, hey, we chopped it up, we talked about it, and that was the end of it. And we all saw that play out on TV. I did a video about that. I'll link the video in the at the end of the video. I'll put it up and you guys can go back and watch my commentary on that. But they talked about it. Okay, and it was squashed. But the thing is with these reunions, here's the thing. These people, as I can sympathize with them on this, you have to go back and you have to relive all of this. Even though we had that conversation, we have to go back and they get to see what was said in their green screen confessionals, things that they did not know. They get to watch, when they were around other people, such as Mel being around Kimmy and questioning her, and then the other people in the group discussing his DUI, his alleged DUI, and so on and so forth. So he had to relive that again. So yeah, we squashed it in the moment, but when I go back and I watch everything that you said behind my back, then now I got another issue. It makes you relive it all again. So I get that. I get that 100%. And so pretty much when it all got down to it, Maurice said, hey, I've learned to shut the up and let my lawyer handle it. Boom. Now he could have said this in the beginning. Okay. He really could have said that in the beginning, and that would have squashed all of that. But hey, makes good reunion, makes good TV. And so they talk about the lipstick on the clothing and how Mel was alleging that in the video, in the mugshot picture, that Maurice had lipstick on his clothing. Now they were trying to get down, was it on his collar? Was it on his lips? Was it somewhere else on his clothing? Where was it? And that's when Kimmy and Mel get into it. And so her whole thing, Yeah, they get into it about that situation and Mel's line of questioning. And it was a question asked that if Mel had heard, because implying that it was lipstick on his collar, on his clothes, on his lips, whatever. That was an implication that he was out with someone else because the lipstick did not match what was on Kimmy, allegedly. Okay. So that was the whole situation. That was the whole problem with Mel saying that, is that she was low key saying that he was out doing something else. And so they asked Mel if she ever found out if Maurice was cheating on Kimmy, would she tell it? And Mel said no. You ask why? Because she says that they're not friends like that. That her and Kimmy have very little interaction with each other. They didn't grow up together because Kimmy is older than her. I think that was a low key shot and shade. But I think Carlos brought enough for everybody in this episode. And so, yeah, so she says that, she would not tell her. They're not that type of friends. They didn't grow up together. And so Kimmy said, I would want you to tell me. I would want you to tell me so that way you wouldn't be going around telling everybody else like you did in this video and implying something that was not, implying that he was cheating and he, in fact, was not. So, yeah, I would want you to tell me, instead of walking around telling everybody else. And y'all remember I said that in the previous video, and I'll put it again at the end of this video. Mel should have went directly to Kimmy and Maurice. She should have. Like Marceau did with her. He gave her that courtesy when he heard about the alleged video and he went directly to her. So that's what she should have given that same courtesy and went directly to them instead of around the world to everybody else discussing that if she was genuinely concerned. So again, Mel, you were messy at that point. You were being very, very messy. And I don't know if the producers told her to put that, bring that up, but it was very, very messy. And so yeah, it was messed up all the way around. And so Mel said that, when it's a hot topic, pretty much it's all on social media. She brought, that's why she brought it up and she brought it to them and asked questions, so on, so forth. And Kimmy pulls out her first. Pow, pow. Kimmy says, we didn't go around talking about it when it was popular on social media about your ass, about a bad ass job that you got. Now, y'all, I didn't hear that one. I didn't hear that one. Y'all let me know if y'all heard that one because I didn't hear that one, but it was funny. And I didn't notice that. That's crazy. But she was right. We didn't talk about it. We left it where it was on social media. Mel said she thought it was just a key moment when she was talking to Kimmy, and Kimmy pretty much said it's okay when it's you having a key moment. Y'all remember Latricia said the same thing. She told Latricia the same thing. It was a kiki. And Kimmy summed it up the same way I felt last week. It's a kiki moment when you talking about everybody else mess, but then y'all remember when she brought it to Maurice, she felt like they were kikiing about her and Martell's situation and she didn't like that. So yeah, I'm with Kimmy on that. It's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for us to do it. And we find out that when things like that do happen, Mel calls a meeting with everybody. I guess Camille's the big dog in charge. She started the show. She was the catalyst behind it and so on and so forth. And so whenever things are said that she does not like, allegedly, the people say she bring them up on the meeting. And so they get back and forth into this yelling match about this BS. Mel said when she brought it up, Kimmy said she didn't want to talk about it. She pretty much let it go. That was BS and that was that. And Kimmy, she let it go, and Kimmy was like, "No, that's BS," and you know it. And Mel was like, "No, that's BS," and so they go back and forth, whatever. So next week episode, y'all, it looks like things are going to be a little bit juicier because Miss Nell joins, and it's going to be Miss Nell versus Mel about that whole mentor situation, and then it's going to be Sunny versus Letitia. Y'all know the side chick, Sunny, the old producer. It's going to be her versus Letitia, and I didn't even know they had a problem. Did y'all know? I didn't know. It's going to be Latricia. Carla's going to ask her whether or not she had sex with Martell. Did they kiss when she went over to his house? Did he send any ick pics and so on and so forth? And y'all get into Latricia. I meant to say Latricia with that blonde hair. Now, Latricia, I'm going to leave you alone today. But then that's when Mel says Martell sleep with anything with legs. Anywho, that should be good and interesting. So you guys make sure to join me next week for my commentary on next week's reunion part 2 of Love and Marriage Huntsville on the OWN network. Again, shout out to Carlos King and Carlos and Dr. Heavenly Voice for a great reunion, a great start to a reunion. And shout out to the cast. All right, guys, shout out to you guys also for watching this video and sticking with me. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell so that way you know when we go live or we post another video. Now, y'all, let me go on in my road because today is a lazy day, but I still got stuff to do. I got a big week ahead. So let me go on, mind my business, and y'all go on and mind y'all business and enjoy y'all Sunday. Thank y'all for watching Crowned by Kenzie. Peace out. Bye.
How you doing?